What's up guys, Scotty2Hockey here, aka The Average Hockey Fan, and today I would like to talk about some left-handed defensemen that the Montreal Canadiens could bring in through trade this offseason. And the first guy I would like to talk about is TJ Brodie from the Calgary Flames. I think the Montreal Canadiens could possibly snag this guy with the right offer. TJ Brodie is a left shot, solid two-way veteran defenseman who will be entering a contract year this year if he isn't extended. He does it all. He hits, blocks shots, skates well, is very solid defensively, and has a 40 to 50 point potential. He's a UFA next year with a $4.65 million cap hit. He's 6'1", 28 years old. He's 185 pounds, and in 570 career NHL games, he has 43 goals, 203 assists, 247 points, is a +7 with 10 power play goals, 54 power play assists, 64 power play points, 244 hits, 828 block shots, and he's averaged 22 minutes and 49 seconds per game throughout his career. Now, as for the Flames need some more grit and experience up front, and a two-time Stanley Cup winner like Andrew Shaw could provide that. With Shaw having his best regular season to date, his value is higher than usual. Shaw has a $3.9 million cap hit for the next 3 years. So as for the trade, I think Montreal should propose to Calgary. Whether or not Calgary would accept this is up for debate, but I would think Andrew Shaw, a second-round pick, a fifth-round pick for TJ Brodie from the Calgary Flames. Sounds like a good move to me. Whether or not Calgary would do it, who knows, but he would be a good fit for the Montreal Canadiens and a perfect complementary partner for Jeff Petrie. The next guy I had, he had kind of a down season this year in Florida, but so did a lot of other players in Florida. Florida was not the best team. They really did struggle. Although offensively they were a pretty good team, but this guy was on the defensive end and they really struggled defensively. He was a part of it, but I believe he has so much more potential. He's shown it since he was a rookie, and I believe he'd be a good fit in Montreal. You would have to get Florida to retain some cap, though. His cap hit seems a bit high to me, and that's Mike Matheson. With Florida in the market to sign a big UFA this summer, they may have to clear cap space, and this could be the perfect time for Montreal to try and acquire left-handed defenseman Mike Matheson. A hard-skating mobile defenseman who can produce offensively, offers a physical presence with his 6'2", 195-pound frame, and would complement Jeff Petrie's left flank perfectly. He's coming off a down year by his standards, so Montreal may get Florida to retain some of his $4.87 million cap hit. He's a solid top four pairing guy. And Montreal native. Sounds like the perfect fit to me. And as for Matheson, in 240 career games played, he has 25 goals, 46 assists, 71 points, is a -29 with 1 power play goal, 10 power play assists, 11 power play points, 186 hits, 388 block shots, and he's averaged 21 minutes and 30 seconds throughout his career. And last year in Florida, like I said, it was a down season by his standards, so I will talk about his last year. In 75 games played, he had 8 goals, 19 assists, 27 points, was a -24, but Florida got scored on quite a bit, so that doesn't surprise me. And he had 63 hits, 132 blocked shots, and he averaged 22 minutes and 19 seconds per game last year for Florida. His cap hit is $4.87 million till 2026, so you'd be taking out a bit of term. But if you watch this guy play, he's truly promising. And yes, he had a down year, but he is a perfect NHL top 4 defenseman. And by no means do I think he would regress in Montreal. On a better team like Montreal, I think he would fit in perfect. Jeff Petrie would complement him well, and he would thrive in Montreal. Just my opinion. You would have to get Florida to retain some cap, though, because that cap hit is kind of scary looking at it. Till 2026, almost $5 million, but he is a solid top 4 guy. So the trade I would have been proposing is right-handed defenseman prospect Noah Jolson, Jake Evans prospect from the AHL, tearing it up in the AHL, a second-round pick, a fifth-round pick for Mike Matheson. But Florida would have to retain $1 million cap hit. That's why you're throwing in those picks, to get Florida to retain that cap. Now, the last guy, I know talking Habs, but Rick is big on this guy. A lot of Habs fans are big on this guy. And in order to get him, you're going to have to trade a good piece. And that is Shayne Gostisbehere from the Philadelphia Flyers. Shayne Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere is a very talented, offensive-minded, left-handed defenseman who has shown real potential since his rookie year in the NHL, setting the rookie point scoring streak record in his first year. I believe it was 15 games, maybe even more. He was also the only rookie to score 4 overtime goals in a year, so his ceiling is very high because that was only in 2016. He struggled sometimes to maintain the hype he had as a rookie in 2016, but at only a $4.5 million cap hit, he is worth trying to trade for. He brings speed, power play production, a good shot, creative playmaking ability, but he does need to shore up some defensive holes. At the end of the day, this guy could be a real factor if the Montreal Canadiens were to pick him up, and I think it would be worth the risk to give up a big piece to bring in a big piece like Gostisbehere. Now, as for Gostisbehere, in 298 days played, he has 46 goals, 141 assists, 187 points. He's a minus 25, and he has 21 power play goals, 71 power play assists, so over, I believe, about one-third of his career points come on the power play. So he's power play effective for sure. 169 hits, 372 block shots, and he's averaged a career 20 minutes and 9 seconds per game. Now, as for Shayne Gostisbehere, his cap hit is $4.5 million, and still has 5 years remaining on the deal, which in my opinion is a very, very good deal for Shayne Gostisbehere, because this guy is great. Ever since he's been a rookie, he's been great, but he just hasn't lived up to the same hype he did as a rookie. Like, he hasn't had crazy productive seasons since, but he has been very solid, and defensively, he is getting better. So as for Shayne Gostisbehere, in order to get him, you're going to have to trade away a big piece. So I was thinking, in order to get Shayne Gostisbehere, you give away Jonathan Drouin, and you also shed a little bit of cap by giving away Dale Weiss with him for Shayne Gostisbehere. So Drouin and Weiss straight up for Shayne Gostisbehere. So pretty much Drouin for Gostisbehere, and you're throwing in Weiss to try and get rid of that contract to see if Philly would take it. Because in giving up Jonathan Drouin for Shayne Gostisbehere, I feel Jonathan Drouin has a bit more upside. He's a bit of a better player. So Philly would be getting the better deal, but if you throw in Weiss with it, Montreal's getting rid of the Weiss contract, so it kind of evens it out, and you're getting that solid top 4 defenseman. That's just the average hockey fan's opinion, guys. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of the video. Comment on some trades you possibly would think, who you would like to see get brought in. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for my upcoming videos. Plenty more Habs content to come. I know they're not in the playoffs, but we can still talk about Montreal all day, guys. Go Habs, go. Scotty2Hockey, a.k.a. the average hockey fan. Over and out. Enjoy your day, folks.